Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven Talks Accessories. My name's Raymond, and in this video I'll do an assembly and review of the Laserox organizer for Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. And this will fit everything in the core game, along with two of the smaller expansions, the Villains of Eriador and the Hunt for the Ember Crown. So let's open this up and I'll show you how to assemble this, and then I'll put everything inside the box and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so here is the huge package that is the Laserox Journey Organizer for Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. So let's just open this up. There's already a bit of plastic here, so I'll just grab that hole and rip it off. There we go. And inside you'll find the Laserox golden seal that you can, if you want to, stick in your box to indicate that that box has a Laserox insert. And then we got the instructions, which is 4 sides, 2 leaves. This side has all the sheets, this sheet times 2, and every sheet has the numbered components times 5 even over here. And on the back it starts by telling you which tray you're putting together and which components you need for that. So step 1, 2, and 3 for this tray, for example. There's a lot of them because this is a big game with a big box and lots of components. So there's quite a bit of assembly to do. Here's a card tray, item cards and fear cards, and you can slot in a little piece of wood to keep the cards inside, but you don't glue that. So they indicate the things you don't glue clearly, so you don't accidentally glue that shut. And at the back, everything, how it all fits inside the box is illustrated here. And some other suggestions, like the Eldritch Crate, which is awesome. And for Star Wars Rebellion and for Kemet, they have solutions as well. There's plenty. You can check them on their website. So let's get started. I'll start with just the first tray. So something simple, a token tray here. All right, so then I'll just take a look at these and see what I need. So this is age 1. I do wish they would have engraved those numbers next to these as well, because yeah, it would be a little bit easier to reference. But I do need these two, that seems pretty clear, and this one. So this is 10, 11, and 12. Yes, it is. So these 3. H6 looks like this one because it has a slot. H6, that's correct. This is 7 and 8. I think I need those as well, 7 and 8. So these 3. All right, let's just start by punching those out because the rest is B's, and we also need H1 and 2, which is these 2. Yes. All right. So from sheet H, we need this, and usually you just twist them because they have a connection on 2 sides, and you can just twist these pieces out, which is relatively simple. So let's start with those. There you go. And these. And if a little bit of wood still is attached to the pieces you rotate out, you punch out, you can simply cut those off with a sharp blade or even file them off if you want to. But usually these come out pretty easily. This is a bit smaller one, so I have to be careful with that. And you can also cut those out if you have a thin, sharp blade, but the rotating technique usually works pretty nicely for me. This is a smaller one though, but I got it. There you go. So that's these, and then these, and these also seem like they just twist out. Yes, they do. So I think that's very clever. It's just a little bit of extra thought given to how these are made. There we go. So I have those components. I don't think I need anything else from this one. And then I need, from the B, I need a B2 and a B5. I guess this is B5 because that's a big bottom there. And the B2, it's probably this. So let's check. B2, yes, and B5, correct. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. I'll just put that here. Punch this out as well. This is really nice with the engravings. So you know where to put what, where to put the tokens. Oh, I put a little bit of tape here. It probably came loose already. I see that sometimes where they add just a little bit of tape so it doesn't fall apart when they shrink wrap it, I guess. So there's that. This is the bottom. And then this one. There we go. All right, just put that over there in case I need something else that I forgot, perhaps. And then I like to align everything to see if I got everything and if I got everything in the right position. And these seem to be identical, although maybe in this orientation, that does seem to be identical, yes. So this goes here, and this goes, that depends which is the longer side. Oh, but probably, this is probably exactly the same. Yes, it is. So B2 and H8 are the same. They were just on different sheets, so that doesn't matter after all. All right, cool. And then this will go here. This will go here because I need to put that one together first, along with this and this. And that is pretty simple. This slides in here. And I don't think I need to glue that because that's pretty tight. Really tight, actually. I hope to get that in completely well. We do have a hammer for that, so I'll grab it. And then this will go to one side and that to the other. So this is going to the right here. And I'll glue that, I guess. Although, maybe not. This goes in pretty easily. This one, a little bit tighter. You know, if it's tight, you don't really need to glue it because it will be fixed by the sides anyway. It's not going anywhere. And if it's a little bit looser, I do like to add a dab of glue. So that would go here eventually, and this here. All right, cool. I've got my glue. I'll grab my hammer and start putting it together. All right, here's my trusty hammer, which you can also get from the Laserox web shop if you need one. And I'll just carefully work with me here. Okay, so let's see. This goes here then. Or, wait a second. No, this should go this side, I believe. So this is a bit tricky. There is no indication of those icons in this drawing. So I do need to check which tokens go where. In other words, which tokens do I have more of? So I'll give that a quick check. Okay, so I looked it up. I looked at pictures on the website and at the icons and the tokens. So this is the eye icon over here, and there's quite a few of them. And there's a second icon here, which I suppose is meant to resemble this somehow. It's not very good likeness, but okay. And there's plenty of these tokens, so this would need a slightly bigger tray. This kind of looks like a bag, so I guess that's these tokens, and that's what they do on the website as well. This is the leaf, and this is the star. So which leaves me with these two, and this is, you know, the Fellowship hand, Fellowship of the Ring. So you have all these NPC tokens that go here. And that leaves you with the monster tokens, which this kind of looks like Sauron's helmet. So I guess that's the monster tokens. And that's how they did it on the website too. But these two, this is all the tokens. So these two only need a small tree, and this needs more, and this as well. So you actually need to turn this around. This is how it's supposed to go. Only this one needs to go there, and that one needs to go there. So now I'm glad I didn't glue it and check it first. This was kind of tight though, so yeah, that's a little bit of a problem, but I'll get that out. And this goes like this. So this is actually incorrect because this depicts the shorter side, which has like 1, 2, 3, 4 of these notches here, and then this wall. And the other side has a little bit bigger tray because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half, which is also depicted here. So pay attention, this needs to be swapped around. Or, you know, you could also say, okay, so this actually does go the other way around like this. And then you need to flip this over and this as well. And that's how it should have been. And then this would have been correct had it not been that this would be on this side. So yeah, no, either way, it's not correct. This is incorrect. This is mirrored, basically. So okay, this is how I'm supposed to build it. So always check before you glue, and check the website images too. The website images are always correct. So that is that. So now I need to get these out and put that over there, which actually went easier than I thought it would. So this is how it's supposed to go. A big tray for these tokens over here, a big tray for the bag tokens over here, the biggest tray for all of these, and smaller trays for the NPCs and the monsters. All right, I'll just put these on the side. Okay. So I'll glue these in place, just these, with a few dabs of glue. You don't need much. And then just align that up so that it sits inside, and then just give that a gentle tap. That, and you can see that it's all the way in. Maybe a little bit more here. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. And maybe just a little more. Okay, and then you can put on the sides and this one as well. So this one goes first, of course, and that just slides in there. Let's see how tight that is. That's not so tight. So I can put a little bit of glue here as well. Whoops. I'll just grab. Oh, now it actually just comes out. Never did that before. It's almost empty. I think that's it. So I'll close the lid. And then I'll just use an old brush that I don't use for anything else anymore. And I'll just spread that glue a bit. Oh, hey cat. I sometimes have a visitor. Oh, we just jumped on my lap while filming. Hi. There we go. All right, there's a bit of spilled glue there as well that I will use to get these in place. And this is the correct orientation. So on to the next. All right, so I have those longer sides in place. Now all we need to do is put these ones in, and then we're done with this tray. So yeah, these trays do take some assembly, but I kind of like doing this. This, to me personally, is very relaxing. And it's like doing some home craft. All right. If you have any excess glue, just wipe it off, because this does dry up transparently. So that's good. Okay, almost done with this one. And it dries pretty fast as well. This is dry in like 5 minutes. And I usually give it a little bit longer while I'm working on the other trays anyway. So by the time I'm finished, I can put it into the box already and all the components inside without having to worry about stuff still stuck. You know, like tokens sticking to left bits of glue that come out of the seams here and there. Cool. So again, this is the way you put this together, with the hand having a smaller slot and Sauron there, the monster tokens, smaller slot. The biggest slot for these tokens with the leaf and the compass, and the medium slots for the double-sided eye and this token and the bags. And this is the smaller side, this is the bigger side, but that's obvious because this is already engraved, so can't go wrong there. It's just this was actually printed wrong. They mirrored this and actually pictured this divider here, which is incorrect. So, all right, there we go. On to the next tray. Okay, so for this character tray, you need all the components on tray F, which is this one, which is strangely enough labeled 1 out of 10. I mean, they should have put F on here, but that's everything you see here. So that's pretty straightforward. And then you need 4 more of these, which are on different sheets, but they're easy to spot because they all look like that. So once you have all of those, then you can take this middle one, and that's the first thing you do, is you just slide all of these in here, and as you can see, these hold pretty nicely, so no glue is required there. There we go, and you can just press them in. See, that works really nicely. You can just press that together, and then these are at the outer sides, and those go in quite easily as well. There we go. Cool. And that goes on here. So just put that in there, and that is something I'm going to glue. And just be sure this is blank. There are no engravings here, so it doesn't matter which side you put up. So I'm gonna just flip this around. I think I'll glue this one as well because that's a little bit loose. sure that these are lined up properly, but putting the sides on will, of course, fix that real soon. So don't wait too long. If you, like me, put glue on the bottom sides of these, which technically, again, you don't really need to do, because these will hold everything in place. And it does seem like this is perfectly symmetrical once again. So, and I'll just put some glue on. All right, so this is gonna be a bit tricky, but you just start at one side and just line up the first divider. And let me see if I can already give that a tap. Yes. And then the second one, is that aligned? Looks like it. This needs a little bit of a push. There you go. Is this okay? I think so. So yeah, that works nicely. If you work from one side to the other, it's pretty easy. All right, that was the second tray, which is exactly the same size as this token tray. It looks pretty cool. They probably sit on top of each other, I'm guessing. All right, I'll just work my way through these. This is all pretty straightforward. This is just a simple tray for the trolls, 3 bigger miniatures, monster tray, which is also the same with several dividers, so you have some bigger slots and some smaller slots, and you can use the separators as you like, it says here. And here is another for your wolves den. So those are pretty straightforward. I'll just skip those. This is a card tray, which is interesting because you don't glue, so I'll probably show you one of these. Card vault for lots of smaller ones where you can put dividers in. And there's a big tray for the map tiles and a smaller one for the player decks. And that's all of it. And then you just put it in the box, which I will, of course, also show you how that works. So see you in a bit. Okay, while putting together the item card tray, this one, I discovered a small error as well, something that you will notice immediately. It's the C6 and C7 dividers here. The C6 are on the outside and the 4 C7s are in the middle. And on sheet C here, which is 7 of 10, it numbers all of these as C6. So these first two, these two are actually C7. And you can recognize, oh, these are C6, these are C7. You can recognize the difference because the middle ones have 2 slots, top and bottom, 2 of these. And the outer ones have 3, as you can see here. So, you know, they wouldn't fit anyway, so in any other use than as pictured here. So it's not a big issue, of course, it's not an issue at all, but just beware that if you're looking for C7, there is no C7, they're all numbered C6 here, so it's these 4. Okay, let's continue. Right, so this is all of the trays assembled, and they look really nice, they look good. You've got a tray for your minis, a tray for your tokens. I already put the small ones in there. And you saw the engraving in the bottom, so you know what goes where. That is pretty cool. You have a big tray here for all the map tiles, and there's still plenty of room here for even more. So I might put the expansion in here as well. I really like this one. This is for the for the wolf miniatures, the wolves or the wargs, big silhouettes here of the wolves. This one is a bit strange because it goes down like that. Perhaps should have better gone to the side because that's where its back would have been, but these work. And that's pretty cool. And same goes for the troll tray. There's a troll silhouette there and to the sides as well. I thought that was pretty awesome. It looks pretty nice. And small details like that really make this insert pop. And I mean, this is amazing for your player cards. It's just really cool. All right, so let me just figure out what goes where. And oh yeah, this is for the miniatures, for the monsters and such. And you get these dividers. And anytime you see a divider that has rounded edges like these, that means you don't glue them. It's also in the instructions. This tray also has one. This is a card tray which has this on top, which you can simply pop off. And you don't glue this. It's held in place by these bits on the side. They just hold it in place like so. If you push that in, it's a bit tight, but it fits. And this side is the same. And it's just in like this. And the cool thing is, if you take it out, you can stick it in the bottom here and put that on the table to draw out the cards. So that's pretty awesome. It's well done, I think. And I'll just put that down for now. I need to put stuff in anyway. And I also liked this tray for cards as well, which has this opener. So this keeps all the cards in there when it's stored, and then you take it out, and again you can put it underneath and then put that on the table like so. So very clever design. Now to find out what goes where. I'll be back in a sec. Right, so I've put all the components in the trays and I'm gonna put it all in the box as it's supposed to go. So let's have a look at that sheet over here. So first of all, it tells you to put this tray and these card trays in one of the corners. So I'll start with this. This is the big card tray, and this is basically the tray that has all the well, it's the storage for all the cards, right? So, and it comes with 4 dividers. I would suggest if you get this organizer, add 2 more sheets of these organizers. One sheet has 4 of these, so adding 8 more would get you more different slots, which is handy because, as you can see, even sleeved here to the right, a stack of these roll cards, this is the captain for example, only takes up one of these slots. So if I put a divider here and here, then I could put all 6 of those roll cards in just 1.5 of these slots. So 4 here and 2 here. Then I'd have the 6 basic, or the 6 hero cards, the named ones. I've put them in these for now. So for example here, Aragorn, and they all have I believe 5 of their own cards, and you could do the same. So you could put 2 here and 3 here. You'd even have 1, no, 6. There are 6 characters, so I've put 1 here because I only have 5 of those character trays. So you'd have 3 of these rows with 12 slots basically for cards, 6 for the rolls and 6 for the heroes. And then I have these 2 left, and I put all of the basic skill cards, these, together in here because they're just all the same. There are 30 of them, 5 sets of 6 cards. Just put them all together, and that will fit sleeved in a double slot here. And then I'd have a slot and a half left. So I, let's see, which ones did I, this is one of the hero cards. I think I was gonna put the titles, yeah, so the titles is also not that many. If you sleeve them, they'll fit in here, and I'd have a full slot left for future expansions. So yeah, you're gonna need extra of these dividers. You can get these in sheets of 4 from the Laserox web store, and I do suggest adding them. I wish they would have been in the package, you know, from the get-go, just standard included. But you know, they're not. Maybe you don't need them, but I think I do. So this goes in here, and it, let's see, is that this one? No, actually, I'm mistaken. These are the character sheets. So this is these, and these are wonderful. Look at the engravings. That's really cool. And the back even is engraved as well. So you can put, if you're playing a character, you've selected a character, you can put the cards that you chose for that character and the cards you gain for that character. So for example, if I'm playing Aragorn and I got some basic cards as well, I can take these from the big card tray and put them in here to save them for my next game. So this is basically your save card slot. And you can also take your big character sheet. So let's see, this one. And you can slide it in here. So something I discovered, that this divider here is, you know, separated from the top. And I added glue to one. And then I found out, oh wait, there's a purpose for that. And that is that this card, even sleeved, fits in here. So I kind of just took a piece of paper and just took that glue out before it hardened. So be advised, do not glue this centerpiece at the top. Maybe a bit at the bottom, but that's it. And then you can put this in here, and you basically have saved your game. So that's what you can do for all of your characters. So, and there's 5 of these, so for a 5-player game. And you put 4 of those next to each other like that, and the 5th goes here. All right. Then you take this tray, and this is a card tray that you can simply put on the table while playing. And I've put these weakness cards, all of the weakness cards here, the boon cards, and the item cards. So I put all of those in here because you'll be drawing those, and these are nicely kept in place by this this closing lid. And when you play the game, as I've shown, you can just take this out, stick it in the bottom, and put that on the table like so. So you can, they're slanted a bit, and you can take that out easily, which is pretty cool. I really like that. It's a great design. So, oh, did I put them in crooked? Put it in. All right. There we go. This goes here, which fits nicely. All right, then we take the big, I could have done it the other way around. So these are the remaining cards, basically everything you're not using. Put that on top of that. So then you take the big tray for the tiles, which is this one. It's pretty cool. It has the hexagonal design, and it's plenty of space. I just stacked them all on top without trying to put 2 next to each other. Several did actually fit 2 next to each other, but most of them are these odd shapes, and you just can only add 1 per layer. But that's plenty of room. There's still lots of room for future expansions. So you simply put that in here on the bottom, and of course you put those big tiles all the way at the bottom, which you've already seen. You put those in first. Then you take this tray. This is another drawing tray, and you take this off, and I put in these what they're called, the fear and the damage cards in here, because you'll be drawing those too during the game. And again, this slot that keeps it all locked, you can just slot that in underneath and sit that on the table like so, which is also very handy. And then you just push that in place, and that is locked. So that goes at the bottom. I'll just put it down like that, and that goes in here all the way at the bottom. And then you take one of those triple, so I have to check which one, because one is bigger than the other. One goes here and one goes here. So the small one, the Wolf's Den, which has these 3 wolves, which are pretty cool with the engravings. That goes on top of that. That is equally tall. And the bigger one for the troll den. So it has the 1 troll from the core game. And I have this one from the Villains expansion, the bigger wolf, which only fits in here. It didn't fit in the regular trays because it's too big. And that one just goes in the corner over here. All right. So then we have these character trays with the loose dividers. Again, these have dividers in this direction that have rounded edges that you can slot in and take out. And they're a little bit tight, but you can just take that out, as you can see, and slot them in however you want. I've used the longer dividers in here for all the standard minions, and this big guy here also was a bit too tall for 1 slot, so I put him in a double. I couldn't put him in here as well and used a bigger one and threw in some smaller minis from another expansion perhaps. But this fits, and you put that on top of all of this, and then you have a second one which is mostly empty, and I just put all these spare dividers in here so I can use them later when I have more expansions. There's one of the big bosses here as well from the Villains pack. And then that one does fit in a regular slot, so I put those in here with these undead. And you can put that on top, and that lines out with that really nicely. All right, so then finally we have the token trays. Oh, I do forgot to mention, I also have these terrain cards. There was not really a slot on the 2 trays that you put on the table to draw terrain cards from. So I thought I'd just use one of the hero trays and put them in there. And just put that one flat on the table to draw those from. It works too. Otherwise I'd have to put this whole bigger storage tray on the table, and I just want to keep that one in the box. Alright, so then finally we've got these token trays and the hero tray. So I'll put the token tray in first. So as you can see, this has room for all these tokens, and with the engraved symbols on the bottom. And I found out that the symbols on the bottom, they do kind of match the original tokens, but Laserox also sells acrylic transparent game tokens that you can use to replace these if you want to, and they do actually match that engraved art perfectly. So they have these tokens, for example, for the eye and etc. So if you like to pimp your game even more and you want acrylic tokens, you can use those. But I think my cardboard tokens are just fine, and I try to avoid adding plastic to the environment if I can. So I'll just be using these cardboard tokens. They suit me just fine. They are nice and colored, so that's just great. And all the bigger terrain tokens go in here, and these banners go in here. So you just put that one. I put that one first so that the top one keeps the tokens in place. And this is for the heroes. So I put the heroes in here. I have that flame token as well. So yeah, and this has a kind of like a slot for these cards, as you can see. So you can put those in here, the cards you don't use. And again, if you're playing character and you selected one of these, you can take those hero trays and slot them in there, as I have shown with the Aragorn card. And that just goes on top of that. And that looks really cool. It is a little bit taller than the box, so it's not completely flush, but it does have lots of room for future expansions. As you can see here, I have a full row of slots for additional heroes or other miniatures, and I still have most of this tray that is free for more miniatures. I have a big slot here for a bigger miniature, and there was plenty of room for extra tiles. So that is good, and knowing Fantasy Flight Games, there will be lots of expansions for this game. So yeah, that's basically how you put it all back in the box. I like to put my sheets, my booklets on top. And I'll just put this in here to remind me of how it all goes together. And that's that. And you can just close the lid and you've got everything plus room for more in the core box. So that's it. Let's go to my final thoughts. So my final thoughts on the Laserox insert for Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth. I have to say I'm very positive about this one. I really like how it all fits together. It is easy to assemble. It takes a bit of time because there's lots of trays to assemble, but they come together very easily. You have this big tray for all of your tiles with plenty of room for more. I love the fact that all the bigger models like the troll and the big wolf from the villains expansion have their own slot with the cool, wonderful cutouts of the troll silhouettes. That is really awesome. Same goes for the wolves, so all three of your wolves fit in here, the wolves den, and it has these wolves cut out as well, so you can easily tell what goes where. And then this big trays, they have plenty of room for all of the minions, and there's plenty of room for more to come, so that is perfect. And you can just leave those in the box and take out what you need. And this you can put on the table. You can just take this entire tray with all the tokens, put it on the table, and you're ready to go. All of the tokens fit in here. You just need the one tray, which is perfect. And then you have the other tray for the heroes. You can just pick your hero, pick your card, put that back in the box. And then once you've started a campaign and you have your hero, you just take one of these, which is perfect. And this looks so amazing with these wonderful engravings. And you take your character card and you slot it in there, and you take all the cards that you've gained during the game and you put them in here as well. And that is your save game box. And next time you just take this out, don't bother with the rest, just take this out and you're ready to go. And I love that. It looks fantastic. So yeah, and it's like I said, it has one big storage tray for all of the cards, which does need additional dividers. So I do suggest again getting 2 extra sheets of dividers, so you have 8 more to put in here, so you can divide all of your different cards easily in here and still have a whole slot left for expansions. And I do like the fact that you have these other smaller card trays that you can just put on the table, slide that lid underneath so they stand up, and you can just draw cards from there and you're done. And everything fits in the box nicely, only raises the lid by 0.5 centimeter, which is, you know, not a whole lot. And yeah, it's plenty of room for expansions. So all in all, perfect. Really, really suits my needs for this game. So I'm absolutely recommending this insert by Laserox, giving it a big 2 thumbs up. Looks beautiful and is perfect for Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. And please also consider becoming a Patreon saint to my channel by clicking the link in the description below or the Patreon logo at the end of this video. And there you can read on my Patreon page how you can support my channel and also get your name in the credits of all of my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.